Fucking love this guy. Love this fight. Absolutely love this fight.
Before we watch the video, we just wanted to ask you a massive favour.
We just wanted to ask you if you could please take a minute to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and also check out our TikTok for short content and daily updates.
We really want to keep growing the Boxing 365 community and keep making content like this for yourselves, the boxing fan.
And most of all, thank you and enjoy the video.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Boxing 365 for the latest episode of Next Card in the Deck, where we are going to be looking at the Cristobal Lorente and Nathaniel Collins fight, which is going to be courtesy of Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotions at the Braehead Arena, Glasgow.
That was really good.
Thank you so much.
Cristobal Lorente versus Nathaniel Collins. I've got to be honest, I'm really happy for Nathaniel.
Yeah?
Yeah, because he went into the Lee McGregor fight, and everyone kind of just, I don't know, I think everyone just wrote him off. Lee McGregor's got a big following up in Scotland, very talented, really, really tough fighter. And for Collins, I think he said in interviews, to do what he did shocked him. He was like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
this is, yeah. And now to be fighting as the B side, because obviously Lorente's the EBU champion, really happy for him. And I think he wins it. And I think he goes on and does big things.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting, like you said. The EBU European title at featherweight.
Yep.
To talk about the A side, first of all, Lorente 20-0-2, so he has picked up 2 draws, but no losses so far.
Yep.
8 wins by stoppage, and his last fight was a draw to Ruben Gill, so he actually did have probably a slightly more disappointing last outing than he would expect. He beat Mauro Forte in July of last year to actually win the title, which he's retained since.
Yeah, I think it's always hard to judge these type of fighters. So Lorente, I'm assuming, is Spanish.
Yep.
I'd hazard a guess. Yeah. They fight these guys, and the Ruben Gill fight was, I would assume it's a mandatory defense. He's gone out there. How big was the crowd? Realistically, how much did he get paid?
Yeah.
My guess is he's working full time alongside that, and a lot of credit has to be given to fighters that do that. The ones that haven't got that big promotional stable behind him. But for him, it's a huge opportunity. This is the world title fight that we talk about, where irrelevant of belts and everything else, Lorente wins this, Queensberry snap him up. There'll probably be a term in that agreement that says, you go and beat our guy. There's a 2-fight deal there, whether that be, back against Collins in some sort of rematch clause, which I'd be very surprised if that's the case, with obviously Collins not being the champion. But a huge fight, and we won't. This will be the best Lorente. This will be the best performance Lorente has ever produced, because it is the biggest stage he's fought on.
Yeah, because it's got to be.
But there's a risk that on the toss of that coin, that Collins is coming off of a phenomenal win against Lee McGregor, against a relatively unknown, and you'd like to think he's got the professional mindset. Is he taking him for granted? Is he thinking, do you know what, I'm better than maybe I thought I was?
Yeah.
And now maybe taking his eye off the ball. We see it a lot. I don't know if this will be the case. I hope it isn't, because Scotland need that next superstar.
Yeah, to be honest, I couldn't really. I think you're right. I couldn't really see that being the case. Doesn't strike me as the type that would let his concentration slip or anything like that, or become lazy or anything. So I don't think that will be the case. But like you say, his win against Lee McGregor, that was on the Taylor Esserman card, wasn't it?
Yep.
And he impressed there. I think it was a good fight. He showed a lot of. He sort of showed his ability to. Lee McGregor was boxing smartly, let's put it.
Yeah.
And, using his jab well, things like that, trying to keep him off him. But he actually showed that he could sort of step off and counterpunch a bit, and that was where he caught him a couple of times. And that's eventually he then managed to close the show, hunt him down a bit. And that was it. Done.
Surprised me a little bit, actually, that McGregor's always been known for a sort of the come forward Mexican style, as we quite commonly label it. And the fact of the matter is, in that fight, he did get behind his jab. And I think he realised that, I think McGregor was the shorter man. He probably realised, look, the realism of it here is I've got to really gauge my distance. I think if we spoke to Lee and you said, did you do things right that night? He'd probably say what he probably should have done is stuck to what he does, got involved, come underneath Collins' jab and try and find himself on the inside. But look, hindsight. We spoke about it earlier regarding Moses Atauma and things like that, and that hindsight of people. Yeah, everyone said, oh, he could really do some damage to Dillian Whyte, but let's be honest, nobody in the game expected him to do what he did in under 2 minutes. And again, that hindsight of going, oh God, I always knew he was. We don't, and we still don't know how far Nathaniel will go. But great fight. Really happy to see him out so soon. And also, side note, really happy to see Echo Esserman get another massive fight on the undercard of Eubank Ben against Jack Carroll.
Yeah.
Really, really good to see.
One, isn't it? That is a good one.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I think Jack Catterall is very good. I think he proved that the first time he fought Josh Taylor. But Esserman is just relentless. So I think it'd be a very tough fight. But I think Catterall's good enough that he could deal with that, and he'd probably win. To be honest with you, points.
I think it depends on how he gets on with Bosey now. Is in that camp. But I think if he's still got that counter punching aggression that we know Jack so well for, Esserman is built for someone like Jack Catterall.
Yeah.
Absolutely built for someone who is as smooth and as quick on his feet with regards to his counter punching. I think he'll be. I don't think he stops Echo.
No.
But
couldn't see that.
I think it could be a whitewash.
It'll be a good. But that'll be a good fight. I mean, just to bring us back before we move on from Lorente and Collins, you said about how Lorente is going to come in probably the best he's ever looked because it's a massive fight for him.
Yeah, huge.
If Collins is the one who wins, which fingers crossed, he does. Do you think that's his big ticket, or do you think he's still got some work to do?
Still think he's got things to prove.
Yeah.
He's a natural featherweight. Some big fights available in and around that weight class. But for me, he needs, whether it be someone like a Ronnie Rios, a TJ Dahini, someone who's been there, done it, seen it. Lee McGregor's a brilliant win. But it probably ended too soon to get any real measure. Let's be honest, nothing against Cristobal Lorente, but we don't know enough about him. And look, if the big title shot comes up, we always say it, they're going to take that shot. But for me, I think he needs a couple more.
Yeah, a little bit more maybe.
Just a little bit. Nothing drastic, but yeah, there's definitely fights out there that you could make who have got that relationship with Queensbury, both in TJ Dahini and both in Ronnie Rios. But there's lists and lists of fighters I'd like to see him in there with.
Yeah. Okay, down to the next fight on the card as it should be the running order. Regan Glackin and Louis O'Doherty or O'Doherty. O'Doherty. Good impression.
Thank you.
For
I hope he's Irish, because that was only Irish.
For the vacant British title at lightweight.
Yes. Do you know what? Really good fight. Love a British title scrap. My favourite types of fights. Yeah. The thing is with British title fights, and I think, not something specific to these guys, but one of the reasons I think so many fighters get up to it is you imagine, I mean, obviously I would dream of even fighting for a central area title, but as a boxer coming through, especially when you start to turn pro and you put a few wins together, the achievable dream is, I might not be a world champion, I've not got the promoter backing, but I could win a British, maybe I could win a British. And it becomes every boxer's dream, whereas a lot of boxers never aspire to go, I'm going to be a world champion, because it's not within the realm of possibility in the most part. And I just think these guys are going to be as up for this as
anyone,
as any fight of their career. And you know what? I mean, you've got some data in front of you. It's a bang 50-50 fight.
Yeah, it's good.
I'd struggle. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When you ask me later, I'm going to struggle for picking a winner here.
Yeah. So Regan Glackin, he's 16-0. Only 3 stoppages. O'Doherty doesn't have many stoppages either. He's 10-0.
Yep.
So they are both undefeated.
They are,
which always makes it a little bit more exciting as well, doesn't it? Glackin he had a win over Kyle Boyd and Kieran Charlton. There's his most recent wins.
Yep.
And actually, he has fairly recently gone full time in the fight game. His job. So it's even more important for him now.
Yeah.
So you talked about it earlier about perhaps people working part-time as well or full-time alongside the fighting. He's taken the big step, the sort of leap of faith. Nothing's like boxing for him, and he's committed himself fully. So it's almost like he's got to win.
Yeah, I
He's
agree.
got to win, and I think that's how he'd see it. So,
Because the thing is, if he wins this, which I think if you put a gun to my head and said pick a favourite, I'd lean very slightly that way. If he wins this, though, that's it. There is no returning to work unless he goes on an absolute shitter of a run. But
drops off a cliff.
he's then in a position where there are no excuses. You're full time. You're training. You've got nutritionists, strength and conditioning, all the usual bits and bobs. And I love to see that investment of whether that be through sponsors, and we've seen boxers do it through loans and personal finance of just going, I'm going to give this absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, good to see.
Yeah, it will
Really
be a
good
one.
to see.
Of course, O'Doherty's impressed as well so far in what is a relatively young early career.
Yeah.
10-0. He beat Yusuf Kamari for the English title.
Good fight that.
Yeah.
Kamari. Do you know what? Kamari doesn't get the credit he deserves. Really good fundamentals, solid. Doesn't do anything outstanding, but if you're not good, he'll beat you.
Yeah.
And I think to come through that sort of fight, really good for confidence. And
yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a watch of both, so from of a couple of fights, and from what I've seen of Regan Glackin, he seems to want to come forward and press the pace a bit. Which actually O'Doherty in the fight that I had seen of him, he seems to be a bit of a pressure fighter himself. So it's going to be interesting to see how the two sort of styles clash. Because somebody probably is going to have to take that back foot. And from what we've seen, neither of them are really not used to it, but neither of them, that's not where they find themselves naturally.
That's not their strengths, absolutely.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see.
It will, and do you know what?
Better.
I always like to see that because you're going to get one or two things. You're either going to get out in the first round, there's going to be a little bit of feeling out. You're either going to get a war where they both go, I ain't taking a step back, and becomes an absolute blazing blazing war. Don't think that'll be the case. Or it actually can be a bit of a stinker where both fighters go, I'm not really sure I want to overcommit here. And we've seen it a million times. We'll continue to see it in boxing. I don't think this will be one of them fights with the British title on the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, good fight. Really good fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good luck to both guys.
Yeah. And obviously massive implications forever because it'll be British title and then
onwards and upwards.
Is going to carry on.
Undisputed world champion is the natural next step.
Exactly. Next on the card is an exciting one. Willie Hutchinson, Mark Jeffers.
Fight of the night. Fucking love this card. Love this fight. Absolutely love this fight.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, like honestly, I think I've got so much I could say about both guys, but I'm going to try not to because it'll become an hour's show. Willie Hutchinson is brilliant, proven at fringe world level, absolutely brilliant fighter. Lost a very close decision to Joshua Buatsi, where I'll be honest with you, I think a split decision was a little bit harsh for Josh because I think Josh did enough to realistically.
It was convincing enough.
Yeah, I think it was convincing enough for him to win, but there's no shame in that.
See, the other thing is, in that fight, Hutchinson was down twice and had a point deducted. So how that ended a split decision,
Willie did some really good work in that fight, and he did himself no shame, and I think his stock rose because of that. Yeah. Willie comes into this for me as the favourite. I know I can't keep Hutch.
I've got a question for you just before we move on.
Yeah.
You know, in one of our last videos, you talked about Reese Mould. Now you love Reese Mould.
I do love Reese Mould.
Do you love Willie? I mean, you've got to be honest.
Yes, absolutely love. So the Hutch train is what we're going to address him now. The Hutch train, right. Willie. The Hutch train, Willie. So yeah, he comes into this for me as the favourite. The reason being is obviously, most importantly, he's fought at a higher level than Mark Jeffers.
Yeah.
But also, this is at his weight class. So Willie Hutchinson is a natural light heavyweight. This fight is at light heavyweight.
Yep.
Willie has lost twice in his career. Once against Joshua Buatsi, which again was a close decision according to the judges, but he lost to Joshua
Yep.
Blacksey at light heavy, and the other was a bit of a career mistake, jumping in at super middle, not his natural weight class, where he got stopped by Lennox Clark.
Yep.
Mark Jeffers is not a light heavyweight. Mark Jeffers is a super middleweight. Coming into this fight at light heavy, so it's not a huge jump, don't get me wrong, but 168 to 175, especially when you're up against a natural 175, there is going to be a weight difference. The Hutch train will probably be the bigger man. I think Mark Jeffers, I think he is one of the best kept secrets in British boxing. I think when he's on it, he's another one of them fighters that he's not full time. He has to work. He has bills to pay. If he's been able to get a full camp under his belt for this one, Mark Jeffers is a dangerous fighter for anyone
Okay.
in the super middleweight division. I'm not sure how he'll deal with the weight jump, but
Well, he has only one blemish on his record so far,
he
which
does.
was very recently in June, lost to Sean Hemphill in a majority decision,
Yeah,
which is a bit of an odd one. You've since seen Sean Hemphill go and be robbed
on
on
Misfits.
a Misfits card. But ignoring that, he's fought some good opposition. He's got wins against Zach Chelly, who at one point was,
Really well
on a
respected.
really good track.
Yeah,
Fought Callum Simpson and,
he did.
and
Yeah, fought
lost
Callum
there.
for the British title, didn't he?
I think that was for the British title, and also a couple of wins over Joshua Quarty, and did fight Jermaine Brown
He
as
did.
well for the English title at
Super middleweight, yeah.
So, yeah, he's got some good wins on his record. I think what you said does still ring true, that Hutchinson's probably fought at that higher level. I mean, that's his world level, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or very nearly.
Craig Richards, we don't know what's left in that tank, but he was very, very much at that level.
Yeah.
He took Bivol into deep waters.
Yeah.
Bivol probably, if you look at fights where you go, how many fights did Bivol struggle at? Ignoring the better BF fights, Craig Richards gave him a tough night work,
Yeah.
Dimitri Bivol. And to beat him in any fashion, I think is a good
Yeah.
respected win.
Absolutely. So it's bound to be a good fight, like you say. Whether Mark Jeffers is going to suit that and fight well at the weight,
Fight of
who
the night,
knows?
telling you,
Okay.
absolute banger.
Listen, I'll accept that as your answer
I
now.
won't give you my prediction because my prediction I think will split the audience.
Okay,
And when I
right.
say split the audience, there's going to be loads of people over there getting really angry at my prediction.
Okay, that's all right. I'm okay with people getting angry.
Steve Gray wins by knockout.
So then we've got next is Aston Brown, Paul Kean. Middleweight, 10 rounds for the Celtic title.
Yes, interesting fight.
Interesting.
I'm not going to ruin all your data, but Aston Brown is a very interesting case. Is a 10-year pro.
Yes,
But
2015
made his debut. He did. Had a bit of a hiatus from the sport due to some unforeseen circumstances.
Due to some poor
Yeah.
choices outside of the ring, I think is how we would probably.
If you would like to do some research, you can. I'm not going to get into the details of his racial trip to the post office, but that is enough to give an idea. 8-0. That's less than a fight every 15 months. But he has been signed by Queensberry. So
I've seen something there.
Frank Warren has gone, do you know what? This guy has something. And look, he's been looking really good. Toughest fight of his career, quite easily. I've not seen a huge amount of him, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be some form of Aston Brown expert. I know a little bit more about his opponent.
Yep.
I'll be curious to how he performs in this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, you've said there about he's had a lot of time out the ring since his debut in 2015.
Yeah.
But after a long break, he has had 6 fights since returning to the ring. So been relatively active in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
6 fights. He's been busy, let's say. He's had obviously a lot of things going on in his personal life. Like we said, poor choices and a few other things, unfortunately, but on the right track now, it would seem.
Seems to be.
And 8-0, regardless of how long he's been fighting as a pro, he's still got his undefeated record, and it'll be down to Paul Kean to change that. So
yeah, I think it's a tough one because my initial thought is whenever you see some of the things that these guys go down for, your initial thing as a human, as a person, you jump to the whole, what a fucking idiot, what a
Mm,
stupid thing to do. But then you really start to break it down and sort of really start to understand the barriers. And when he was sent down, he was 26, 27 years old.
yeah, something like that.
So still a young guy, you know, we no one's perfect anyway. He's then come out, he's had issues with addiction, with alcohol, some other personal demons that he's had to deal with. There's loads of fighters that have had that. We look at, Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
Again, I know we've brought him up a few times, but Ricky Hatton had his demons. Liam Cameron, another fighter that we got a lot of time for, he's had his challenges over the years.
yeah.
So I try not to jump too quickly to the whole he should be banned forever because he punched a post office worker with a bottle. But
Punched him with a bottle.
but I just think he's back. He's trying to make a life of it. My guess is he's got kids. He'll have family. He's trying to do right.
Yep, yep.
And look, I'm supportive of that.
His opponent, Paul Kean, 19-4.
Yeah.
Only 2 stoppages in those 19 wins, and he was stopped twice in his losses. He has lost to some good opposition though. Hamza Shiraz, who obviously is hitting his heights at the minute.
Yeah.
Louis Green, Darren Johnston. So
There's,
been in there with good opposition, lost to
yeah, good opposition.
good opposition. Again, particularly Hamza Shiraz. So he's tested. That's the thing, isn't it? He's tested, and so if Aston Brown can go and beat him convincingly, it's a
Statement.
pretty good statement,
I
and
agree.
it shows the level that Aston Brown's at and where he's going.
And the thing is, in and around this weight class, there's so many fights out there for him. Absolutely, tons of fights, and with Queensberry backing him,
Yeah,
it won't be hard to put him in there with someone good next. I'd like to see him in there for maybe an English title.
yeah, they'll find him plenty of
Yeah,
good fights,
he'll
won't
be
they?
busy. He'll
They'll
be busy.
progress him well. And we're going to go then to the last fight that we're going to talk about because there's a lot of fights on the
There
card.
is
Otherwise, this video would be 90
4
minutes
years.
long.
Yes, that as
Um,
well.
and that is Marcus Sutherland and Harsh Saroha. Super Bantam, 8 rounds. Sutherland is 8-0, 5 stoppages. So, good start to the career.
Really like Marcus Sutherland. Fan friendly, come forward, throws a lot of punches. Quite hard hitting at that weight. Someone I seen the other day describe him as the next Nick Ball? Question mark. Is he as good as Nick Ball? No one knows. He's 8-0. He's a baby of the sport. Queensberry have seen something. They signed him last year. Exciting fighter. And again, Scotland need that.
This is a fight for young fighters. Seeing as though you called him a baby as a fighter, he's only 21.
I know.
His opponent's only 19.
There's 2 baby fighters.
2 baby fighters.
But I don't really like the other guy.
No?
Not particularly. Doesn't offer a lot.
Doesn't offer a lot.
Doesn't offer a lot. He's there to get punched.
He's 7-1-2.
Record.
One stoppage.
He
hasn't ever been stopped. So that's actually a good point to talk about because if Sutherland has got his 5 stoppages so far, it's a test because this guy's not been stopped.
No, in his 1 loss, he hasn't been stopped. He did.
Well, why don't we say across his 10 fights, he's not been stopped?
If you want to big him up.
Well,
I'm just being honest. He's been brought over here as a punch bag, which is fine because Marcus Sutherland is young. He has a growing fan base. And, hey, look, he might cause the upset.
can't see that personally. But
Don't be like that. All right? Our man.
or Saroha.
Him.
Come on.
Sorry. I don't like him that much. I forgot his name.
Well.
So, yeah, look. Let's not speak too much about it. It's a fight you would expect Sutherland to win with relative ease. Saroha is obviously just dropped out of the top 10 pound for pound, so interesting to see how he gets on. Now, look, it's a good fight. From a records point of view, it looks really good on paper. I don't expect it being competitive. I don't think anyone expects it to be competitive, but it's an opportunity for him to go out, maybe get a couple of rounds. Hopefully, he's tough, as his record would suggest. And we get to learn a little bit more about the Glaswegian Nick Bull, or wherever in Scotland he's from.
No more accents, please.
That wasn't an accent. That's how you pronounce Scotland.
Right, that brings us to the end of the fights that we're going to talk about. What we will do now is go through, you're going to give me your winners. We're going to start at the top.
Yes.
So,
Winners.
winners on the night. Starting with Lorente Collins.
Nathaniel Collins to win. Wide, unanimous decision. It's going to be a bit of a domination, I think.
Nice one. Glackin and then O'Doherty.
I'm going to go Glackin, People's Champion, the workhorse. I'm going to go Glackin stoppage.
Would also back Glackin on that one, but I can't see a stoppage. He hasn't really
No, he's 16
demonstrated
and 3.
finishing yet. Hutchinson Jeffers.
Jeffers stoppage.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Brown Kean.
I'm going to back our postman protester, Mr. Aston Brown.
Okay.
His surname's ironic, isn't it?
And Marcus Sutherland versus Harsh Saroha.
Yeah, I mean Marcus Sutherland. I'm gonna go. Do you know what? I'm gonna give him some credit, Mr. Saroha. I'm gonna go Marcus Sutherland points.
Okay, so he's gonna take him the distance.
Gonna take him the distance. He's gonna go to the referee's scorecard. Yeah.
Brilliant. Now you've already given it away.
Yep.
But your fight of the night.
Jeffers Hutchinson, without a shadow of a doubt.
And that is because
I think it's a great clash of styles. I think when you look at the level of both guys, I think it's the most competitive.
yeah.
Obviously, we don't know a lot about Lorente, so that's no disrespect to the main event. I think Jeffers is a lot better than people give him credit for. Hutchinson can punch a bit. Jeffers can punch a bit. Jeffers, really good boxer, throws in volume. I think he's got everything. I really do. I think if anyone's going to tune in and you said tune and watch one fight, I promise you, the fight doesn't disappoint.
Okay, brilliant.
I'll be watching it on my own because you're a wedding or something.
Yeah, I know.
A birthday,
Terrible.
sorry.
Most likely upset. And as always, we do upsets as in A side
B-side.
losing to B side.
I'm not going to go with Mark Jeffers because I've already gone with Mark for a winner. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more creative, but most likely upset. See, I mean, technically speaking, Nathaniel Collins is the underdog. I feel that's a cop out, but I am going to go with that.
I can accept that. If we're doing A and B side,
yeah,
technically he's the B side.
He's the B side. I think Nathaniel Collins is going to come in and he's going to upset the champion and he's going to take away the EBU European title.
Fingers crossed.
Captain Collins.
Now, whilst I get our next section ready,
yes,
you need to think about you would give this card as a rating out of 10, please.
No problem at all. You do that, and I will have a think about where I'm going to judge this card against.
You
rate
need
the card.
to give us a rating out of 10. Any time of day would be nice.
8.
8 out of 10. Jesus.
I don't know how I'm judging it.
That's a big goal.
Yeah, so can't judge it as a world title card.
No, because no world title.
It's not a next gen card.
No.
We can't judge it on talent. I'm judging it on a similar basis of what you would judge something like the Fraser Clark TKV fight that's coming up. Now, obviously, we don't know what the undercard is on that fight, okay? But it's a small arena with a relative judgment of character of talent, sort of the talent pool. The main event, you've got the European champion, whether or not we know a great deal about him or not. You've got Nathaniel Collins, who I think could be a future world champion. You've got Willie Hutchinson, who's a world level challenger. Mark Jeffers, who was fought and competed at British level and sort of in and around that European level. And I think you look down that card, I think you've got some really good names. I think it's an 8. It's stacked with talent. It's a big card, so it's good value for money. And I think Scottish boxing needed a good night. And I think the fans will give it that. I think it's a good, enjoyable night of boxing.
Okay, fair enough. 8 out of 10 seems
high. What would you give it?
Only because you've recently rated the Crocker McComb card as a 7 out of 10.
That's different.
I'm just saying.
That's different because I was judging that because of the fact that, again, you can't compare the two. Crocker McComb. Oh, yeah, you can compare the two. What did I give that? A 7?
Mm.
Yeah, that's fair thinking about it. Look, Ben Crocker's not going to like that because Ben Crocker's our boy. It's nothing against Ben. What I'm saying is if you look at the two cards, they're very similar in regards to the levels, yeah? You've got the IBF European, the EBU European, okay? If you go down the card and the talent pool that includes in both cards, and this is nothing against GBM, the talent pool from a value perspective is better with Queensberry.
Wow.
You're only doing this because
I'm not. I think you've got your scoring wrong. Anyway,
you think this Yorkshire Bangkok card
I think
is a better card than
I might be acting a bit on bias. I'm just looking forward to some of the fights on that card.
I am as well. I think I'm not saying it's a
Apparently not.
look. It's 7 and an 8. The only reason it's an 8 in comparison, and this is how I to my judgment, is that you've got world level talent on the Queensberry card. I'm not saying you haven't potentially got that on the GBM card, but at the moment you haven't. Sean McComb is the only fighter on that card who is proven to be anywhere near world level.
Okay. Listen.
Why do you think I've got it wrong?
Listen, I'm done arguing with you. Now it's time for Rate the Robot.
Still no jingle.
I think that's going to be a horrible running joke that we never ever get a jingle, but that's okay. Right. Rate the Robot. AI has spoken. Collins beats Lorente. Unanimous decision. Or possibly a late TKO.
No, you won't. I don't think he'll stop Lorente.
Glackin beats O'Doherty. He has the momentum, the home advantage. A decision win.
Okay, yeah.
Hutchinson beats Jeffers.
How?
Mid to late TKO.
Shut up.
Brown beats Kean.
How?
Hometown fighter, crowd support, probably by decision.
Yeah.
And then Sutherland wins by decision.
Fair enough.
It's not terrible.
The AI, and if someone can educate us on this before we end the video, AI, for some reason, believes Lee McGregor is on the card with an opponent to be announced or assigned or whatever TBA is for on BoxRec. If anyone does know, let us know. Hopefully we'll have some clarity by the time this video gets released. But if we don't, let us know.
Yeah. People let us know because BoxRec doesn't think McGregor is fighting on a card. AI does.
And it's Queensberry, but AI does.
Yeah.
The computer knows best. If he ends up on the card, and bear in mind we've done nothing with research, ChatGPT and Railroad gets a good rating.
Yeah, it does.
But
he gets to come back.
I'm okay with his predictions on this one.
Yeah, they're not bad, to be fair. They're not.
The only one I disagree with is the Hutchinson stoppage. If Hutchinson wins, I think it comes via a points decision. I think he might outwork Jeffers, but we're not going to go into that.
Well, anyway, as always, we don't know anything, or maybe we don't know everything. So you're welcome to let us know your thoughts in the comments. You're welcome to let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thanks, guys.